Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I am so excited. I'm going to be interviewing a man who was a big part of my childhood just from one series that nobody even remembers anymore, except for the kids who grew up in the late 80s, early 90s. His name is Bruno Marcotulli. He was Chief Brown in Encyclopedia Brown Boy Detective, the family HBO series that was a staple of my childhood in the early years. And I'm so excited to have him on today. The guy is very funny, very talented. He should have been a lot bigger than he is. His career has been mostly small role parts and stuff, but he's very talented, a lot more capable of what he's known for as Chief Brown and stuff. What I mean to say is he was very funny, very talented as Chief Brown. He should have been a huge star, and he should have been more successful than he has been and stuff. But he's had a pretty decent-sized career of lots of small roles and stuff that I want to get into with him in television and stuff like that. So, here is my interview with Bruno Marcotulli.
Mr. Kovac, I assume?
Yes, Bruno, how are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I am just great. Oh, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule today.
You're welcome.
My pleasure, yes. So, going back to the beginning, I mean, did you always know that you wanted to be an actor?
Well, all I know is I put on little hats and jackets and scarves and would prance around in front of my patient's mom and dad and irritated brother.
Uh-huh.
If I thought about it, I couldn't read as a kid, who knows why, and school was not fun for me. Academics were terrifying. So I think my escape was to become a jokester, maybe, or, I developed talents in my personality and dealing with people.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe that lends itself to the performing arts. I'm definitely from a theatrical family, a dramatic family, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Well, yeah, I can...
Yeah, all the way through, in high school, even though I was a basketball player, I went through college on a basketball scholarship.
Nice.
I was always dipping my toe into theater, always had the interest in it, did a few plays in college, so I guess the flair or the interest was always there.
Wow, yeah, I can relate. I didn't have the best time in school either. I got bullied a lot, and I used to joke around a lot for attention, and that led to me being a stand-up comedian later in life and acting and stuff. So,
there you go.
So I can relate to that, absolutely. Stuff. Were there anybody in the entertainment industry that you were influenced by?
I'm a fan of talent. Just like in athletics, they say, are you for any team? Not really. I just like to watch quality players play. And I guess it's the same in the world of theater. Either they engross me and I'm riveted by what they're doing, or I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just watching the Bill Maher show, and Jim Carrey was a guest on that show. And I just love watching gifted people.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I love listening to bright people. I love people that have something to display and learn from and just be enlightened by.
Yeah, there's a lot of talented people out there, I'll tell you.
There are, and I'm sorry, where are you still located?
I'm living in Redding right now. I'm originally from San Francisco.
Okay, well, you've been dealing with all the smoke then as well.
Oh yeah, pretty bad over here. We were evacuated for a while in our apartment and everything. It's pretty bad.
Wow, yeah, it's a real bummer. I hope it's not the new normal. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, I hope not. But so where did you train for acting?
Well, before I graduated college, there was a coach by the name of Nina Foch. She was an actor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she became a well-known acting coach, and I remember auditioning for her, junior year at Loyola Marymount University, and then after I graduated, I met some people in college, and they led me to a man by the name of Sal Dano.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a genius. He was incredible. And I was in his class for 5 or 6 years. That was an incredible learning experience. A lot of talented people in there. I learned a great deal. And then through the years, you're taking other classes like audition process or cold reading classes or
Right.
classes, and plenty of those. But I would have to say that Sal Dano was my greatest benefit and most in-depth class that I was ever involved in.
Nice. Was there anybody well known in your class?
Yeah, Tom Selleck was in that class. What's her name? A gal that was in, I guess if I had to say that was, not that Tom Selleck's the greatest actor in the world, but he was one, what's her name? I'm so bad at names,
Mm-hmm.
but there were a few, well-known actors, and I'm sorry, I can't give them a name.
It's okay. It's okay. So your first job that's listed is on the new Mike Hammer
Okay.
and stuff. And how did you get that part?
Oh, auditioning for it, you scratch and you claw, and once in a while you get an audition, and then the sun shines, and you actually get the gig.
Right.
The show, I guess you remember me from, the Encyclopedia Brown Boy Detective
Yep.
show. I was fortunate enough to have met a man named Steve Holland.
Yep.
And he, of course, he's best known for writing and directing the 2 movies, Better Off Dead and One Crazy Summer.
Right.
Legendary films. And, he was and is a very talented man, a writer, a director, a cartoonist. He's produced Eek the Cat was one of his cartoons.
Right.
He's just prolific. And I remember when he had written a few episodes for Encyclopedia Brown. He directed all the episodes, and in between shots, he'd run into his trailer working on other projects. That kind of guy, really brilliant. And I guess he had met a friend of mine in acting class who was also, the woman who played my wife, Tiana Pierce,
Yeah.
in Encyclopedia Brown, and met her on a plane, or met Tiana's daughter on a plane, or somehow we ended up at the same party, and he just cast me in that show. So once in a while that happens, but for the most part, most of the jobs I got were just through the regular process of pounding the pavement and auditioning and getting a role.
Mm-hmm. What was Stacy Keach like to work with?
He was pleasant, all professional, a real good actor. I just remember him being a really nice person, and you just sit in your trailer and then you come out and you do your thing. So it's not like we hang out.
Yeah.
Or hung out. But I remember him being a nice man. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I heard he's very supportive of other actors. That's why he loves to act so much.
Yeah. Well, it's neat when you meet kind people, and it's a heartbreak when you meet people that aren't. And that has happened. I remember one guy, I did mention his name earlier in the conversation, and I'll mention it again because it was really an unfortunate experience. Bill Maher, who I'm a big fan of. He's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, when I was watching last night on the episode where Jim Carrey was on, one of his guests, a woman, said something out of time at the end of the show. Bill Maher goes into a monologue, new rules or something, and this woman had a comment, and what Bill Maher often does is he just glared at her and said, some really nasty thing like, this is my time, you had your time. He has that thing about him where he's just cruel, and
Right.
Savage Holland's party years ago, I saw he came in, and I just went up to him and said, gosh, I just think you're great, and he looked at me as if I were a turd. I crawled away humiliated. It was just horrible, and there are those people that simply aren't kind, and I'm a big fan of kind. So you remember those people who aren't, and you remember those people who are, and bless those who are, because that's what it all boils down to, is being kind to one another on this planet. I don't care how much money you make or how big a star you are, it really all boils down to kindness.
I so agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I go to conventions. I've met mostly very kind people. I've only met maybe just a handful of people who weren't so kind, but I've been very lucky, especially with the people I've interviewed on this show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they were nice to you.
They were very nice to me, the people on the show.
Sure.
But you did the pilot of the short-lived show Private Eye.
That's right.
Yeah, oh my God, that's a great cast. Michael Woods, Josh Brolin, William Sadler, and Lisa Jane Persky, who's been on the show. She's a sweetheart.
Okay. Yeah, no, he was cool too. It was very nice. I met Bob Picardo, I think, on that shoot.
Yeah.
And he later had a running gig. Do you know who Bob Picardo is?
Yeah, from Star Trek, and he's been in all the Joe Dante movies. Yeah.
And he's done a lot of work, and I recently saw him at another function. Very sweet man. He turned me on to Ziggy, who was a hair peacemaker. He was sort of legendary hair peacemaker. And, again, Bob Picardo, kind man. You just remember things like that. Really sweet guy.
Yep. And then you did an episode of the short-lived Fox Network show Werewolf.
Yeah, I think I got ripped apart on that. I got mutilated in a few shows. That was one of them.
Yeah, that was one of the first Fox Network shows, and Chuck Connors was on it. He must have been intimidating because he was such a star.
I did not meet Chuck Connors. I don't remember seeing him when I was on the set. You come and you go, and a lot of times you don't meet the stars of the show.
Yeah.
You just do your thing, and it wasn't like usually they'd come in and I'd be labeled as the guest star, but they were often smaller parts, and you come and you go. It's kind of weird because you get treated like royalty, and Mr. Marcotulli, can we get you anything? And then you sign out, and that's the end of that, and you go back to the real world where everybody doesn't give a hoot.
Yeah.
A roller coaster,
Yeah, I'm learning that every day, I'll tell you. So now, Encyclopedia Brown, I've been watching the show since I was 6. I've always loved it. There was 10 episodes or something?
No, there were only 6. There was a pilot,
6.
2-hour pilot, and then it was picked up for 5 more episodes the next season, or was it 6? You're right, it might have been 7, but not 10. And apparently it was, at that time, one of the higher-rated family shows on HBO. But from what I understand, the owner of it, the man who bought the property, was an attorney from New York, and he had a conflict with HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that blew up. So that was a real bummer because you don't get many opportunities to be a regular on a series, and certainly one that was so well received. But, such is life.
Yeah, I had all the episodes on tape. I watched them over and over again, and I was always baffled as to why the show ended so shortly because, you're right. It was on a lot. It was successful.
Yeah, no, it was very successful. It was very funny. Really all due to Savage Steve Holland and his brilliance. But beyond your control, things happen, and that's why that ended so quickly.
Yeah, you were perfect for the role because you reminded me of that French comic actor Jacques Tati in the role of Chief Brown because, just like him, Chief Brown was very clueless as to what was going on, but he pretended like, he did know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you did it just perfectly.
Yeah, well, it was tailor-made for me. It was showing up and being silly with Steve and having fun and a dream, just an absolute dream. It was just so fun. He incorporated my physicality, again, being an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
outside the ceremony or whatever, or banging my head on the frying pan and flipping backwards. And, he loved to play, and we had so much fun. It was such a joy. And it was shot in Provo, Utah, which was beautiful. All the perks, and it was just a joyous experience. Just one of the favorite experiences I have ever had as an actor.
Oh, yeah. Utah was a perfect location because it just gave it that small town look that the show needed, and I don't even think the most obscure parts of LA could have captured that look.
No, it was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, and I believe we shot it in fall. Just being there was a joy.
What was Scott Bremner like?
He was a little pain in the butt, is what he was. Because of course he's no longer with us, but no, he was irritating, quite frankly. That's what I remember is he was just a handful, little kid, lots of energy bouncing off the walls, and there was some prima donna business going on. I don't know if that was more from him or his parents or whatever, but there was drama around Scott. But he was good for the role, I guess. I don't know. But I don't want to put anybody down. But he was a handful. I just remember him being sort of a difficult person to deal with, or his parents or whomever was in charge for those in the production. But you got to handle him with kid gloves because he was the star of the show.
Yeah. And Laura Bridge, I think I found her on Facebook about a year ago or so and asked her to be on the show, but I never heard back from her.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm still good friends with Laura, or Ella Bridge. She changed her name to Laura.
Mm-hmm.
And I just actually, I met her mother on the set.
Mm-hmm.
And years later, we ended up dating for 5 years. And so I was actually being Ella's or Laura's stepdad-ish kind of person. And Rose Bloomfield, Carmen married a man named Bloomfield. And Rose was in a baby carriage when I first met Carmen, and when Carmen and I were together and living together, we were all, Rose was living there as well. So it was kind of neat that through the years, Ella, I guess you know her as Ella,
Yeah.
remained very close to this day. Yeah, she's a lovely lady.
Wow, that's so ironic, isn't it?
It is.
Were there any episodes that you really like or they stood out for you?
Well, I guess the one that featured me the most was Case of the UFO.
Yeah.
It was sort of my episode. But I can't say that one episode was favored by me over another. Just being in the world of a working actor on the set, and really it was a lot of fun and a beautiful place, making money. I just enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, the UFO episode I like. Brad Grunberg, who's known as Johnny Cocktails in those days, he's in that episode. And he's in the Ghost Rider episode, too.
He and I remained friends for many years as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Ghost Rider episode, of course, has Diane Franklin, who's been on the show 3 times and coming on again next month. She's a friend. Love her.
Yeah, she's great. Whatever happened to her? Did she end up?
She, after she did that episode, I know she took a long break, and then about 10 years ago, she started doing the convention scene, and she's got like 3 movies coming out this year, and she's doing really well. Her career is having a really big resurgence because everybody remembers her from Better Off Dead and Last American Virgin and all those movies she made in the 80s, and she's just on the comeback trail, and she still looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was cute. That's glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I also love the baseball card episode with Bob Nelson.
Right. Bob Nelson is the guy that, let me guess, did the fish thing?
Yeah, the guy in the straight jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny comedian.
Uh-huh. And, of course, Taylor Negron was in the Ghostly Rider episode, the late, great Taylor Negron.
Oh, God, I have never heard a bad thing about him. Everybody loved him.
Yeah, he was a sweetheart.
And the pilot had Rick Overton, who I know a little bit from stand-up comedy. He's a good guy.
He's a great guy, and I just saw him in a movie. I forget which one, but he's still out there doing great. He was a sweet guy as well.
And Alan Morrill, who is actually friends with him on Facebook. And I remember, I don't know, I wrote something that was a reference to the pilot episode, and Alan liked it, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Alan and I and Ella have all remained dear friends. We're Facebook buddies, and we communicate as well. He's another great guy. How cool was it that I met a real life rock star, and of course whenever I hear his most famous song, I guess rock and roll. I love rock and roll.
I love rock and roll. Yeah.
I mean, how classic is that? To think Alan wrote that. It's just exciting. But no, just a great guy, dedicated to his craft, and he's rocking pretty much every night of the week in New York. He's a great guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the girl who played Dr. Boyer in the pilot?
Let's see, which Dr. Boy? Oh, I have no idea.
Or the guy who played Casey Sparks' manager, Hickey Madigan.
Yeah, those were locals, I think. I think they were local Utah folk, and I have no idea what became of most everyone.
Well, I will tell you, though...
I don't really follow it. It's so funny. It's like,
yeah.
This movie or that actor, I just, it's like, I don't know, maybe it sound like a goofball, but I don't follow. People go, oh, the statistics of athletes or whose team is winning, and I don't know. I just like to watch good players play, and I just don't keep track of anything, and I'm horrible with names. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, a couple of years before he did that pilot, the guy who played Hickey Madigan, the manager, he is at the very beginning of This Is Spinal Tap. He's on stage and he introduces them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But was it difficult to get work after that?
It was always difficult to get work. I never had a great agent. That's how it sort of works. There's like two or three big agencies, and they dominate all the great roles. Then you have, I guess, a middle rung, and then all the bottom feeders, and the how to navigate through all of that and to get to higher levels. I just never figured it out. So yeah, I don't. It was always hard to get work. Always hard to get agents. Always hard to get auditions. And you go in there, and they say, "Wow, that was perfect," and then you walk out, and you never hear from them again. So
Yeah.
and you want to go, well, it was perfect. Then I guess you want me to sign the contract. But Hollywood, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you on that one.
Yeah. Did you ever work side jobs to pay the rent during those years?
Yeah, for 21 years, I was a substitute teacher for elementary school kids.
Mm-hmm.
That was the longest side gig, but yeah, it's just part of the deal is side gigs. It was funny when we all saw the news of the fellow from the Cosby Show working at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whole thing and the whole, there's all kinds of, he's got a job, and of course he has a job, and everybody has a job, and every actor has a job, and then Tyler Perry calls him up and gives him a job, which is fantastic. But I remember writing something on Facebook going, hello, would anybody want to take a picture of me at work?
Yeah.
Or the thousands and thousands of other actors that are working, at real jobs like everybody else in the world. It's just so funny, the whole brouhaha about this actor working a regular job. Unless you're part of the 0.001% that does phenomenally well, you got to pay the bill. So it's sort of the reality that people think they see you on TV and you're rich and famous. It's like, well, not really, and not even if you're on a hit show.
Yeah.
Time moves on, bills continue to have to be paid, and the reality is that's what you do when you're an actor.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're a major star, you have to work at Taco Bell between acting jobs,
Yeah, and I guess the smart ones get some kind of craft skill that they can use when they're not working and when they're not earning income as an actor. And it's tough because you have to have flexibility to be able to go on auditions. It's all big giant catch-22. The whole industry really, starting with to get your SAG card, you have to have worked. You have to work, but you can't work if you don't have a SAG card. And it's just you have to figure out a way to slip through the cracks. And I was talking to my wife about Jennifer Lawrence, and she's incredible and she's beautiful, and she said I never took an acting class. She's never studied.
Wow.
And you wonder how. She's beautiful and she's very talented, but still, there's so many beautiful and talented people. She's exceptional, but you wonder. At 22 she was a star. Now she's 27.
Yeah.
How in the world did it happen? How does it happen? And it's got to be those that make the decisions. It's not who you know; it's who knows you.
Right.
And who knows you that has the power to point at you and go, you, like Tyler Perry pointing at the guy who was working at Trader Joe's and saying, you, or Steve Holland looking at me and going, you. It's the luck of the draw. You got to have the chops, and you got to be lucky. Who was it? Someone was asked a question. Oh, who was it? Was it Bill Maher? Or no, somebody else? And they said, gosh, I hope I can remember the name, but their opinion was, anybody who's good enough to, without the reference of the name, it really makes no sense, but he was going, his feeling was, that's who it was. It was Jerry Seinfeld on the having comedians in cars having coffee, and he was sitting down with one of his guests, and he was who's the guy at 30 Rock?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Alec Baldwin said, "So do you think?" Or he asked him a question like, he said, it was lucky. There's a lot of luck involved. And Jerry Seinfeld poo-pooed that concept and said, no, it's all about if you've got the chops, you work hard enough, you're going to get there.
Right.
And I thought, boy, this guy's dreaming. That's just not the truth. There's a lot of people who are really good that just don't have the fortune of meeting whomever. I'm a big fan of Alec Baldwin. I'm a big fan of Jerry Seinfeld. I'm not saying these people don't deserve all the success. They certainly do. But it's not guaranteed that you're going to be successful if you're talented. It's not the case. So it's one of the few things I've disagreed with Jerry Seinfeld on. So if you ever talk to him, let him know.
Okay. There's a couple of things that I've heard him say about stand-up comedy I disagree with. So I don't know. I think it's all subjective. I think just everyone has to be lucky.
At some level, you really do. Because if you don't meet the right people, you're not going to get to where you have to get to become well-known, make a lot of money, whatever your goal is.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you real quickly, you played Sad Mime in Spy Hard.
Right.
Yeah, what was that like?
Steve Holland. He came in because I guess that film was made and it wasn't funny enough, so they hired Steve to come and punch it up.
Uh-huh.
And he brought me in to play the Sad Mime. Another one where he just said, Bruno, do you want the role? It was funny. I got to meet Andy Griffith.
Uh-huh.
And, that was a one-day gig. It was fun. It was fun to be on the set. And, it was just like, how do I figure this out? It was a quick, fun thing. And I think it's pretty funny. My little few seconds on screen, I think I pulled it off.
Oh, yeah. My dad took me to see it when I was a kid. I thought it was hilarious. It's a funny movie. But you had no interaction with Leslie Nielsen?
Unfortunately not, no. Yeah, my day on the set was with
Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith, yeah. That was it.
Wow, it's amazing, though. Well, Bruno, I thank you so much, sir. And this has been a great honor for me. And I just wish you so much happiness in the future now that you're in Oregon.
I appreciate that. And thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have yourself a great day.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Marcotulli, I'm sorry. Bruno Marcotulli. Ain't he a cool dude? Thank you so much, sir. That was really great hearing about the dark side of show business. I mean, everyone knows about the dark side of show business. I mean, it's not an easy game, you know, and you were very honest, and I appreciated that, and it was really good insight. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!